It's $200 for a couple of pieces of wood. 10 pieces of wood for 200 bucks. I know for a fact that I could build this for a lot less. How hard could it really be? Ow!
To be taller than 26 inches.
I'll explain what this is in a minute, but first I'll need a plan. This is a Moses basket holder. You see, a Moses basket is something that newborn babies sleep in, like this one here. But here's the problem. I don't want our babies sleeping all the way down there on the floor with the rats and the cockroaches. No, I want her up here with us, and that's where the Moses basket holder comes in. It holds the basket at bed level. So let's get started. But first, I'll need some materials. These are my materials. And then I've got several of these. It's old scraps from other projects we've been working on. They're not perfect, but I think they should do the trick. Now I've got to put all this back. It was a good shot though. So my longest board just broke in half as I was carrying the wood over here. But I still think that I'm gonna be able to get 2 pieces out of this one. But to do that, we'll need some dimensions. Let's take a look here. Ah, okay. And then what about the other one? Ah. Safety first. So it was time to cut my first couple of boards. I got the table saw ready and it was time to cut. Let's go over the parts I'll need for this build. We're gonna need 2 top pieces, 4 cross beams, 2 bottom pieces, and 4 vertical supports. Unfortunately, I did not have enough to get 2 boards. So I cut it again, this time using a wider board. Cut my second top piece. I decided to make the top part of the bassinet holder 25 inches long, which turns out to be a mistake. I'll explain that later. So we're gonna do 25. Don't do it. Nah, I did it. 2 boards are cut to length. Oh, oh, ow, oh, splinter. Oh, jeez. It turned out all the wood I brought over was only long enough to cut 1 piece, so I had to grab my super long board. The next step, I'd be cutting the bottom rockers. These are gonna be the bottom of the Moses basket holder. First of all, I have to take off this little lip that's on this board. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sand out a U shape on the bottom to give it the rocking functionality. And I'm going to go cut these on the table saw now. We got a 1/2 inch lip. Okay, so on the table saw, we're gonna set it to 1/2 inch. Now I just need to figure out how to get the length of this because I want the entire thing to be 26 inches tall. So I need to figure out what this should be since it's at an angle.
So if the whole thing needs to be 26 inches tall, clearly the piece of wood needs to be taller than 26 inches because it's gonna be at a diagonal. However, there is also the bottom piece to account for, which is gonna be on top of the bottom piece, which is already 1.5 inches tall. So
after all of this calculating, I think I'm just gonna make it 26 inches long and then I'm pretty sure it'll work out close enough. I think I have enough width between here to get 2 pieces out of this board, so we're gonna try. I just realized I need 4 of these, not 2 of these. Okay, well, so this is 2 out of 4 then. Hopefully I get it right. Oh! I didn't get it right. Darn it. Oh, look, I put the thing wrong in the wrong spot. That is absolutely not in the middle of, that's not where it should be. It's supposed to be 1.25 inches. Freaking dummy. So I cut it again. Let's see, how many can I get out of one of these? Oh. Well, look, I don't know if you can see that, but it's just under 2.5. I might just cut them in half to see if it's close enough, so. It's like a 32nd over 1 3/16. I don't know, I might be able to get away with it. Oh, I just realized I have 4 here, so I'll just not use the one I already cut and, oh, that's the compressor. Compressor will be always cutting me off. Then for cutting the cross beams, I found a board that was just the right length. I feel like this one's a little bit nicer. 17.5 inches. Don't let me forget that number. I'm serious, I'm counting on you. 17.5 inches. Okay, We marked it. I got it, you don't have to remember it anymore. Let's cut it. This should be enough for all 4 cross beams, I think. This board had a lip on both sides and a groove down the middle, so I had to make sure that I would still have enough length for 4 boards after cutting it. 6 inches minus the groove. I think we're gonna have enough. Yeah, I think we'll have enough. All right, we got four pieces out of that. Now I have all the cross beams. I've got the top, the bottom, all the diagonals. So remember, this is the board for the bottom. I started to test out drawing the line that would be the arc, but I don't think there's enough space to actually get a good enough curve here. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need a wider board. However, I think the only board I have that's wide enough has one of those grooves in the middle. I don't think it'll be too bad. I'm gonna see if I have enough. I think I do. I'm gonna need 2 of these longer ones. So in terms of getting the curve on the bottom pieces of wood, I have this old skate ramp here that my brother built and left here. And I think that if I trace the curve onto those boards, I should be able to get the right type of angle or the right type of curvature. Nicholas, your efforts will not go wasted here. I will be using this ramp, but for completely different purposes. All right, let's see how it looks. Ooh, wow. That's a nice curve right there. Both of these have the lines drawn on them. I feel pretty good about how that turned out. It was honestly not that hard. I just had to clamp them and then draw the line underneath. So now what I'm gonna do is clamp these to the workbench here and use the jigsaw to cut them out. So what I'm gonna do is come in here and just cut out this half, and then I'm gonna spin it around and cut the other half. This one got a little wonky, but I'm gonna sand it later. It should be fine. Oh yeah, okay. It looks really, really quite good. I definitely need to sand some spots and take a little bit more off in a couple places. Because I was just trying to not get too close to the line, but overall I'm pretty happy with that. That's definitely going to rock. That's gonna rock really, really nicely. Oh yeah. We've got both pieces cut. It took a lot longer than I was expecting, but I think it was worth it. They're definitely symmetrical enough. Well, actually. So I came over here to lay this all out, and I realized that it's possible that I cut these angled pieces too short, because you see, when I put these kind of at an angle, it looks weird for them to go to the ends of this top piece. It looks way too like square. That it looks horrible, actually. It looks terrible. When I put them in more like this kind of starts to look okay, but I would need to cut that top piece much shorter. I basically have 2 options: cut that one short and just keep going, or redo both of these, which would be a horrible, painful experience. I really don't want to do that. So I'm gonna ask Sarah.
Does it hurt to cut this as well? It's fine, right?
All right, next it's time to actually get that perfect smooth round finish on the bottom boards. So to do that, we're gonna use the edge sander right here. The only problem is it's extremely rusty and dilapidated, so I've got to clean it up. Okay, I'm gonna start to sand these on the outside edge, which is this edge. Wish me luck. And then to sand the inside edge, I use the rounded corner of the edge sander. Okay, I just finished the sanding. I think it turned out really good. As pretty good as I could get it for my first try. They're both very smooth, pretty much. These are finally done. It took me like all day just to do this, which is kind of crazy. But it's true. It's true. What can I say? It took me all day to do this. I think I'm gonna finish out the day with a little bit of sanding. Good morning, it's day 3. Last night I got my first piece sanded. Now I have to sand all the other pieces here, but it's worth it. And then I'm pretty sure we're gonna put it together, and my plan for putting it together is so. You didn't see that one coming, did you? Actually, I realized I should cut the angles on the vertical supports before I started sanding. I kind of feel like I'm just gonna sort of wing the angle on the bottom. I don't know if you can see, wing that bottom angle. I don't really know how else to do it. All right, that looks like a very subtle angle. That might do it. Okay, I'm gonna wing it. Actually, that's pretty good. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with this angle. I'm pretty happy with it. The next thing I have to do is figure out how to cut this angle at the top, which is a much more substantial angle, and I feel like I need to be a bit more accurate, but I have an idea. I was thinking what I can do is just pick this up, place this here, and line it up on both sides, and then I'll just draw a line across here and cut that amount off. I think that should do it. So the important thing now when I cut this angle is that I actually cut it the right direction, because while the angle is gonna be the same for each board, half of them are gonna have the opposite direction of the other half. So I have to be careful not to mix them up and cut them the right way. I really hope I don't mess this up. Okay, it's gonna be fine. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. So I just cut that piece and it turns out I'm a moron. Look at this. This piece was so perfect. And then we go over here, this piece fits perfect. And then, yeah, I cut it the wrong way. Sarah gave me some advice that I should just make the whole thing a little bit shorter, so I think I'm just gonna recut this like that. Okay. That's really good. Pretty pleased with that. Next, I used the angle finder to determine the angle the top piece would be cut at. Then I lined that angle up on the table saw and cut the top piece to length. There it is. Let's see if it fits. Oh, okay. Yeah, that looks pretty darn good. Wow, what do you know? I did something right. All right, you know what time it is. It's sanding time. Oh yeah, sanding time. Ooh, yeah. Woo, sanding time. Sanding time, what'd you say? Okay. I just finished sanding all of these with 80 grit. Now I'm gonna do them all again with 220. That took like 45 minutes. I'm gonna do the 220 by hand though, so it should be faster or slower or something. Oh geez. I finished all the sanding. I did all the 220 now. That took quite a while, but all the boards are very buttery smooth, so I'm very pleased about that. My neck was absolutely killing me. Oh, that is like literally neck breaking. But you know what time it is? It's time to finally put it together. Pretty sure I'm gonna do some and some glue. So I'm here in my garage and I've got the doweling jig out. I got scared already. Now I just have to pull this out of the doweling jig and hopefully it's gonna look right. Oh my gosh, it's really tight. What the heck? How do you unscrew this? Oh my God. There we go. Whoa, it's a perfect hole. Time to see if this all lines up. Oh wow, check that out. Here we go. Look at that. It all fits pretty darn good with the with the dowels in there. I'm just gonna repeat this process on the other side and then put some glue in them and actually get them together for real. Here I commissioned my dad to help me with the doweling because I've never done it before and he is a certified expert. All right, I just got the first side all glued and doweled and clamped. And I think it turned out pretty darn good. It's not perfect, but I'm pretty happy with it. And then I repeated that process on the other side and left it to dry overnight. What's up, everybody? Behind me here are the two pieces that I made yesterday, or that I finished putting together yesterday. They don't line up nearly well enough to move forward with the project. Oh, so that means I have to rebuild them. They're all glued together. They look really good. However, when you lay them down on top of each other, you quickly realize if you line up the corners up here, that the entire structure is completely misaligned. So it's pretty disappointing, it's pretty depressing, but I'll see you in a week. Okay, hello everybody. It's been about a week and we've got the parts remade. The process definitely went a lot faster this time because I at least knew what I was doing. It was also easier because Sarah preferred the bottom be flat. It actually all went extremely well except for one small problem. As I was hammering in the dowels, the boards cracked because I put a little too much glue and I hammered a little too fast. So that is kind of a bummer, but I should be able to fill them in with some wood filler. But before I filled them in, I sanded them down to get them as smooth as possible. That's some good looking stuff right there. Then after letting the wood filler dry overnight, I sanded it back down to make the boards as smooth as possible. And I think it turned out pretty good. You can't really tell that they're even there. All right, so I was gonna use dowels to put the two sides together with the cross beams, but I changed my mind. So I gotta go to the store and make a purchase. These'll do. Okay, I've got it all clamped up and ready to drill. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm excited to get the first couple of screws in. Bottom screws are in. Gonna unclamp it. Hopefully everything stays together. All right, well, check this out. I think we got it all set. It's not perfect, but this isn't a very good way to show it, but I think it's really not bad. Now I'm gonna do a little bit more sanding to make sure it's ready, and then we're gonna apply the stain. So pretty exciting. Yo guys, let me show you how fast I can sand. Ayo, we got some Rubio Monocoat. This is what I'm using to stain the Moses basket holder. It's some pretty sweet stuff. So we're gonna drip it on and it's gonna get crazy. I will be applying it with a sock. Oh, we'll see how this goes. Oh yeah. Are you ready for the reveal? All right, the Moses basket holder is done. I'm really proud of it considering this is my first real woodworking project. Overall, I think it turned out really good. I made a few mistakes. I did have to rebuild the entire thing, but overall the end result is something that I'm pretty proud of. I think it's gonna be a great place for our baby to sleep when she's born. Let me know in the comments, would you pay $200 for this? Let me know if you think I did a good job building it. If you have any building experience, would you have done this differently? If you made it all the way to the end, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I'm begging you, please, like and subscribe. Okay, thank you, goodbye. Good night. And goodbye.